So, hi, my name's Joe Brewer, and I have been writing a lot recently about the mental disease of late stage capitalism, how to deal with the crises that are just coming one after another in the world today, the feelings of loneliness and isolation that arise around individualistic cultures and economic ideologies and political philosophies and the effects that they have on us. And what I want to do now is just be a little bit more personal and share with you some of my experiences as I've been writing these things and the responses that I've been getting. So, first off, in case you're wondering, if you read some of my work recently, I'm actually a very happy and upbeat person. And so I'm the kind of person who I like to hang out with my friends and be silly and goofy. And I'm a dancer and I like to move. You can even tell, like the way I'm recording this video, I'm like, I don't sit still very well. I like to be up and moving. And so what does it mean for someone who's upbeat and energetic and excited about the world to step back and deal with the immense trauma that all of us are going through right now, and to feel into that? And so here's the thing. First of all, we live in a world that is designed around the outcomes we're getting. So there's something really empowering in saying the economy is not broken, it's fixed. It has been built brick by brick, policy by policy, to take wealth from the productive activities of everyday people and accumulate it in the hands of the already rich. This is not like some big mistake. It's not that people are too stupid to figure out how to do it right. It's that there were some people who were smart enough to figure out how to make this system work for themselves. And that's actually really inspiring in spite of the kind of conspiratorial feel of it. Because what it says is that if a group of people over time can build up their policy frameworks in a way that create wealth insecurity and the consolidation of power, then that means that the much larger community of the rest of us, who collectively hold much, much more knowledge and expertise than the small group of people ever could imagine having, that if we just coordinate our actions in the right way, if we just find the right ways to cooperate, we will be smarter, faster, more agile, more creative than these people who have been rigging our systems. See, the whole thing about like the surveillance state, what Edward Snowden showed us, and how there's a need to surveil people and imprison people to stop them from speaking truth about what's going on, and to have that information become privatized so that a small set of people can benefit from it while no one else does. Well, what that says is that the people who have been gaming the system have been gaming it not by being innovative. They've been doing it by siphoning off the value of innovation, closing it off where they find it. So if we have ways to open it up, to make it more inclusive, to let more people participate in it, to have actual open markets rather than closed, monopolistic, feudalistic oligarchies, where basically the people who set up the rules of the market rig it to benefit themselves, and the larger the actors are in this space, the more they distort the market toward their own ends. Rather than that, we can envision things like the tremendous abundance coming out of robotics and manufacturing today means we don't have to produce and consume as much crap and do as much damage to the environment, and that more people can get access to it if only we have the kind of social values of openness, participation, trust, the belief that everyone deserves to have a chance and that prosperity should be shared and that those who help to create value should benefit in the value that is created. These are not even crazy rocket science ideas. These are everyday human relationship ideas. You see, the truth of the matter is that if we look back in our history, and the scientists who study human evolution can tell you this with countless books and stories. There's so much research on this now. Human beings were profoundly social, deeply, incredibly social. We depend on each other. We live in groups. We're born vulnerable and need caretakers to take care of us. We know almost nothing about how to get around in our environments unless our cultures teach it to us. You see, we are a kind of animal that throughout its long history has figured out how to be strong by being in communities. This is something that we're good at and we thrive at. And you see it every time there's an earthquake or a tornado or a volcano. Every time there's a natural disaster, people's compassion comes out, their ability to break out of their standard roles and create and invent in the moment to support and help each other is just incredibly inspiring. And the reason that we don't do it is because there are all of these systems that have been built up to divide us, to pit us against each other, to tell us that someone over there is the enemy, when the real enemy is the systems of division themselves. So you see, the more that I have studied the problems of the world, the more I've seen that the only way to understand the problems is to explore and enrich your knowledge of how much is known about the problems. And in that exploration, in that learning, we come across a treasure trove of solutions. And so our ability to be inspired and hopeful in this time of crisis is really deep, and it's built on solid foundations. So yeah, the world's pretty fucked up right now. There are a lot of shitty things going on, and it's hurting all of us. We are all feeling the pain of it. And yet, at the same time, if only we can figure out how to trust each other and cooperate with the people who play well together, form effective teams, and come together, all of the knowledge is there, all of the tools are there, they're available to us. We can pick them up and we can learn to use them, and we can tackle these challenges. And actually, we have the ability to make the world a better place than it's probably ever been before. But we have to recognize that at the core of it all, there's no such thing as the isolated individual. No man, woman, or child is an island. We are deeply social animals. We live in communities. We grow in communities. We even become ourselves in relationship to others. But more deeply, we're also part of this world. We are part of nature. So all that we find beautiful in the world that we feel is threatened by human activities, that's part of us. We are part of it. When I see a beautiful sunset and I think, oh my God, the beauty of the scene, it's so gorgeous, nature is incredible. Well, that beauty and that awe is experienced in the brain and the body of this human organism. That ability to experience reverence and awe is something that human beings are capable of doing, and maybe only a few other animals on Earth. So we are the embodiment. We are nature as it is able to experience beauty and awe. So if we lose humans, we just might lose that ability, and the universe might be deprived because of it. So it's not that humans are the problem and nature will go on without us. It's that we are part of nature, and our big delusion has been to not see that we're part of it, to not recognize it. And a simple test to see how much you're part of nature is hold your breath and see how long you can go without air, how long you can get by without food or water, how long you can get by without the knowledge that someone else created that you use to solve a problem in your daily life. You see, we are all interdependent. We are all part of this wonderful, incredible dance that is the universe. And so, as I've been writing and thinking about these things, I'm hopeful. I'm not hopeful because of a Pollyanna simplistic illusion that the problems are easy to solve. We have some serious, serious problems in this world. But the first thing we have to do before we can ever hope to solve them is to believe that it's possible to solve them and to see the innate goodness in the human existence that we can build upon to do it. So that's the message that I wanted to share. Thank you for reading my articles, for listening and watching this video. And let's do this together. As I like to say at the end of my writings, onward, fellow humans.